Welcome back to Focus on South Texas. Spring break is right around the corner, and the Texas Department of Transportation wants to make sure you drive sober, no regrets. This campaign is a reminder to always have a sober ride to avoid tragedy. And here to tell us more about the campaign is Public Information Officer Laura Lopez. Laura, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me today.
Well, TxDOT in Texas, Texas has a lot of roads. A lot of people are on them. And what are the numbers from 2023 spring break period? I know you guys have those numbers.
Well, I can tell you that during spring break of 2023, from ages 17 to 30, there were about 51% of crashes related in that week of spring break that were alcohol related. So the message here is that if you plan to do any type of celebrating this spring break, make sure that you have a designated driver, make sure that you have a safe way of getting back home, or if you are going to be going down south to South Padre, make sure that you have a safe ride to wherever it is that you're staying at.
Absolutely. And we know the dangers of driving while intoxicated, but what can students and all of us do to avoid driving under the influence? Well,
it's having a plan in place. It's very important that if you're going to be doing, like I said, any type of celebrating, you want to make sure that you have a person appointed to stay sober, and that's the person not with the least amount of alcohol, that's the person with no alcohol. So have that person to be your designated driver, or if have Uber or Lyft or someone get you back to your destination safely. So we understand that this is an opportunity to go and celebrate, it's spring break, but we are recommending and encouraging, especially college students, to be safe during the spring break. It's very important because just having a DUI can cost, and it can cost someone's life, it can cost you your license, it can cost you just everything. If you have a job, that can cost, you can go to jail and have a huge fine, and so it's just very important that you do have a plan in place.
Absolutely. And one way I understand that TxDOT is reaching college students with the message to drive sober is the you in the driver's seat. So tell us about this partnership that you guys have with the college students and how you guys are getting that message across.
So of course it's a peer-to-peer education. It's having those that are in the same age group to be able to communicate. It's different when it's an adult telling you not to do something, but when someone in your age group can tell you, hey, this is not a smart idea. Let's have a plan. If we're going to be, like I said, we're going to be going and planning on drinking, let's have a plan in place so that way we can get home safely.
Absolutely. And tell us how college and high school campuses can get involved with this campaign as well.
Well, we have so many campaigns throughout the year. So of course this is for spring break, but we have so many other campaigns that are geared not just to alcohol, but distracted driving, not wearing a seat belts, our Click It or Ticket campaign. We also, through our End the Streak Texas campaign, all of these campaigns fall under End the Streak Texas. November 7th, 2000 was the last deathless day on our state roadways, and it's very important that we have that one day or even more days. And so that is our mission, to have deathless days, and we can't do it alone. We can educate, but we need those that do get behind the wheel to help us to meet that goal.
And when I read that statistic, because I know that's in a lot of the campaign messaging about the deathless day, and I always have to think back, okay, am I reading this correctly? Wow, this was so many years ago.
Almost 25 years.
The last deathless day on the roadways. And, when you brought up distracted driving, it was actually just yesterday that the Texas Department of Public Safety, they put out a video. There was a trooper in Nueces County on Highway 77 that was rescuing a truck driver from a burning truck, and then there was a distracted driver on the other side of the highway, and so the distracted driver was stopping to, hey, what's going on, and caused the truck behind him to slam on the brake. That jackknifed the truck, and that truck hit a patrol car that was on the road. Thankfully, there was nobody in that patrol car. But I'm sure distracted driving, I mean, it just takes a couple of seconds. I'm sure you guys see that all the time,
exactly,
right?
and crashes are 100% preventable. It's focusing on the road, it's focusing on your speed. I mean, there's a distraction everywhere. And in our district, we cover 12 counties in the San Antonio district, and the three most leading crashes are due to speed, impaired driving, and distracted driving.
Wow. And I know that I love the fact that TxDOT, I mean, you guys are there as far as going, we see you at in the parking lots of the stores and at different places, you're taking the exhibits and the examples to the public. Why is that so important to kind of be out there with the community and giving these messages?
Education is very important, and we will continue to do that until we meet our goal. But it's educating the traveling public. It's educating, especially everyone in our district. Now, I can tell you, in 2023, we did have in our district 77 crashes during spring break that resulted in 1 fatality. And in San Antonio, of those 77, 47 crashes were just alone in San Antonio. No fatalities, thankfully, but there was 1 serious injury. But when we go out to different locations, we may have a setup at a Walmart, North Star Mall, even some other places where there is a large crowd. It's getting that message out, reminding people that it's very important to stay 100% focused behind the wheel, and that means putting your phone away. That means always putting your seatbelt on when you get in your vehicle. That means not having that drink before you get behind your vehicle. So it's just education, and we will continue to do that. And we can't do this alone. We do need the help of the public to remember those education tips that we provide.
And even, kind of just when you're out there, just reaching, I mean, if it reaches one person that day, I mean, that is one person, that's going to be less likely to drive distracted or drive impaired.
Exactly. And as part of the Drive Sober, No Regrets, we have a vintage exhibit that is going around the state. That's sort of like a carnival-liking look, and it's got where you can put the goggles on that helps you to get an idea of what it's like to be impaired and, playing games, doing virtual. And there's also testimonials from family members that may have been impacted by somebody who they have lost a family member, or even even those that have been involved in, victims that, survived, but have they have serious injuries due to being involved in a massive crash, due to whether it was due to alcohol or distracted driving, or something else that they were involved in.
Absolutely, like you said, it is preventable. All right, Laura. Well, thank you so much for joining us.